In the heart of Alhambra, beneath the golden skies of Granada, stood a palace so beautiful that travelers once believed it had been built by magic itself. Its red walls glowed at sunset. Its fountains sang softly through silent courtyards. Its gardens smelled of roses and mystery. But for hundreds of years, people whispered about something darker hidden inside. A secret nobody wanted to speak about after midnight. Tourists visited during the day smiling and taking photos. Yet many guards, historians, and even local residents refused to stay near certain halls alone at night. Because according to the legend, the Alhambra was hiding something. And tonight, you are about to discover the terrifying truth. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because the next story might reveal another hidden mystery history tried to erase. It all began in the year 1492. The final Muslim rulers of Spain were losing their kingdom. Christian armies surrounded Granada. Fear spread across the city like smoke before a fire. Inside the palace, the last ruler, Muhammad XII, walked through the marble halls in silence. His kingdom was collapsing. His soldiers were exhausted. His people were terrified. But according to an old hidden manuscript discovered centuries later, the king feared something far worse than defeat. He feared the palace itself. The manuscript claimed there was a secret chamber buried deep under the Alhambra. A chamber sealed by royal order. A room nobody was allowed to enter. Not servants. Not soldiers. Not even members of the royal family. The story said strange sounds echoed from below the palace at night. Chains dragging across stone. Whispers in unknown languages. And screams. Some believed prisoners were hidden there. Others believed ancient treasures were protected inside. But the oldest rumor was the most terrifying of all. People believed something inhuman lived beneath the palace. For years, historians dismissed these stories as myths. Until 1834. A young explorer named Esteban Ruiz arrived in Granada searching for lost Islamic treasures. He spent weeks studying old maps of the palace. One evening, an elderly man approached him outside the gates. The old man warned him never to search below the Alhambra. Esteban laughed. He believed old legends were nothing more than stories designed to scare curious people away. That decision changed his life forever. 3 nights later, Esteban secretly entered the palace carrying only a lantern and an old map. The moonlight barely touched the red stone walls as he moved through empty corridors. The palace felt different at night. Too quiet. Too cold. Even the fountain seemed silent. As he searched beneath a staircase, he noticed strange carvings hidden behind broken stone tiles. Arabic symbols covered the wall. And at the center, a small iron door. Locked. Dust covered the entrance as if nobody had touched it for centuries. But then Esteban noticed something horrifying. The dust near the bottom of the door had recently been disturbed. Someone, or something, had been there. His hands trembled as he forced the door open. A freezing wind rushed from the darkness below. The lantern flickered violently. Then he heard it. A whisper. Very soft. Almost human. Leave. Esteban froze. His heart pounded inside his chest. But curiosity was stronger than fear. Slowly, he descended the narrow stone staircase. Step by step. Deeper underground. The air became colder. The smell changed too. Wet stone. Old ashes. And something rotten. After several minutes, he reached a massive underground chamber hidden beneath the palace. The room was enormous. Ancient chains hung from the walls. Rust-covered iron cages. And strange black symbols were painted across the floor. But the worst discovery stood at the center of the chamber. A stone throne. Covered in dried dark stains. Esteban realized this was no treasure room. It was a prison. Or perhaps a place for rituals. Suddenly, his lantern dimmed. Then came the sound. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Moving somewhere in the darkness behind him. Esteban turned quickly. Nothing. But the footsteps continued. Closer. Closer. Then his lantern went out completely. Darkness swallowed the chamber. He tried relighting it with shaking hands, but before he could, a voice whispered directly beside his ear. "You should not have come here." Esteban screamed and stumbled backward. The lantern finally reignited for 1 second. And in that brief flash, he saw a figure standing across the chamber. Tall. Thin. Wrapped in black robes. Its face hidden in shadows. Then the light died again. The next morning, palace guards discovered Esteban unconscious near the palace gardens. His hair had turned completely white overnight. And according to witnesses, he never spoke normally again. For the rest of his life, he repeated only one sentence. "There is something under the palace." Years passed. People forgot his warning. But strange incidents continued. Workers restoring the Alhambra reported hearing whispers from sealed walls. Night guards claimed doors opened by themselves. One guard even resigned after seeing a shadow moving through the Court of the Lions long after midnight. Yet the strangest event happened in 1921. A restoration team accidentally discovered a hidden tunnel beneath the palace foundations. Inside the tunnel were burned candles, ancient bones, and symbols matching those described in Esteban's journal. But the tunnel was sealed again immediately by government order. No official explanation was ever released. Why? What were they hiding? Some conspiracy theories claim the rulers of Alhambra practiced forbidden rituals beneath the palace. Others believe political prisoners disappeared there centuries ago. But local legends tell an even darker story. They say a powerful royal magician once lived inside the palace. A man obsessed with immortality. According to the myth, he performed terrible rituals beneath the Alhambra searching for eternal life. And one night, something answered him. Something that never left. Even today, some visitors report cold spots inside certain chambers. Others claim their cameras suddenly stop working underground. And a few tourists have captured shadow-like figures in photographs no expert can explain. Maybe it's just imagination. Or maybe the palace still remembers what happened beneath its walls. And maybe the secret chamber was never truly empty. But this is only the beginning. Because in the next chapter, we uncover the forbidden room historians rarely discuss, and the terrifying disappearance connected to it. So before we continue, subscribe now because the mysteries ahead become even darker. The night inside Alhambra was far from over. And the real horror had only just awakened. For decades, officials dismissed every terrifying story surrounding Alhambra as superstition. They called the whispers fake. The shadows imaginary. The disappearances coincidences. But in 1968, something happened that forced even skeptics to question the truth hidden beneath the palace. A young historian named Sofia Navarro arrived in Granada to study ancient Nasrid architecture. Unlike treasure hunters, Sofia cared about history, not myths. At first, she laughed at the ghost stories told by local residents. Until she found the missing documents. Deep inside a restricted archive, Sofia discovered references to a sealed underground room erased from official palace maps. The room had a name. La Camara Oscura. The Dark Chamber. The documents described it as forbidden even to royal guards. Only a small circle of palace rulers knew its location. But the most disturbing detail appeared in a damaged letter written in the late 1400s. It read, "The chamber must remain closed forever. If the seal is broken, the darkness will return. Sophia's curiosity exploded. What darkness? What were they so afraid of? Night after night, she studied old palace blueprints searching for clues. Eventually, she noticed something impossible. The dimensions of the underground foundations did not match the visible architecture above. There was empty space beneath the palace. A hidden section deliberately removed from history. Determined to uncover the truth, Sophia convinced 2 restoration workers to secretly help her enter the underground tunnels after midnight. That decision would become the greatest mistake of their lives. The palace was silent as they descended carrying flashlight and equipment. Cold air-filled tunnels. Water dripped from ancient stone ceilings. The deeper they went, the stranger everything became. Symbols appeared on the walls. Strange circles. Unknown markings. And phrases scratched into stone by terrified hands. Do not open. It watches. Seal the door. One worker wanted to leave immediately. But Sophia pushed forward. Then they found it. A giant iron gate hidden behind collapsed stone. Unlike the rest of the palace architecture, the gate looked unnatural. Dark. Burned. Almost melted. And engraved across the center was a single symbol matching the one found in the old documents. The seal. As Sophia examined the gate, she noticed fresh scratches across the metal. Not ancient scratches. Recent ones. Something had been trying to get out. Suddenly, one flashlight died. Then another. The tunnel fell into near darkness. A deep sound echoed from beyond the gate. Not a human sound. Not an animal. Something else. Low. Heavy breathing. One worker panicked and ran back through the tunnel. The second worker shouted at Sophia to leave, but before they could escape, the gate moved. Just slightly, enough to create a tiny opening, and from inside the darkness, a freezing wind exploded outward. The remaining flashlight flickered wildly. Sophia looked through the crack for only a second. But that second destroyed her forever. Later, she described seeing a massive chamber beneath the palace. Chains hanging from ceilings. Black smoke moving unnaturally across the floor, and human figures standing motionless in the darkness. Watching her. Then the whispering started. Hundreds of voices speaking together. Calling her name. The worker beside her screamed and pulled her away just as the gate slammed shut behind them with incredible force. The 2 barely escaped the tunnels alive. But when authorities investigated the next morning, the underground entrance had collapsed completely. Almost as if the palace itself had buried the chamber again. Sophia never recovered emotionally. Friends claimed she became obsessed with the whispers she heard underground. She stopped sleeping. Stopped eating properly. And filled notebooks with horrifying drawings of shadow figures and underground halls. One page contained only a repeated sentence written dozens of times. The door is weakening. Months later, Sophia disappeared mysteriously from her apartment. No signs of struggle. No goodbye letter. Nothing. The only thing investigators found was her final journal lying open on a desk. Its last entry chilled everyone who read it. It said, "They are no longer below." After her disappearance, authorities sealed several underground sections of the Alhambra permanently. Officially, they claimed structural instability made the tunnels dangerous. But conspiracy theories exploded across Spain. Some believed Sophia uncovered evidence of secret royal torture chambers. Others believed ancient occult rituals had been hidden beneath the palace for centuries. And then came the tourists. Over the years, visitors reported terrifying experiences inside the Alhambra. Some heard whispering in empty corridors. Others captured strange shadow figures in photographs. One tourist claimed she saw a robed figure standing silently near the Court of the Lions before vanishing into a wall. Another visitor recorded unexplained voices on audio equipment. Even today, night guards rarely patrol alone. Many refuse to enter certain underground areas entirely. Locals still tell stories about strange lights appearing inside sealed tunnels after midnight. And according to legend, every few years, someone disappears after trying too hard to uncover the truth. But perhaps the most terrifying mystery involves the hidden chamber itself. Because historians still cannot explain why so many original palace records were intentionally destroyed. Why erase history unless something horrifying truly happened there? Was the chamber simply an ancient prison? A secret ritual site? Or something far worse? Some paranormal investigators believe the palace sits above an older structure dating back even before the Alhambra itself. A forgotten place hidden beneath centuries of stone. A place connected to rituals nobody understands anymore. And maybe the rulers who sealed the chamber were not protecting treasure. Maybe they were trying to protect the world from whatever remained inside. Today, millions visit the Alhambra every year admiring its beauty. The fountains still flow peacefully. The gardens still bloom beneath the Spanish sun. And the palace still looks magical from the outside. But beneath the beauty, beneath the marble, beneath the silence, something may still be waiting in the dark. Watching. Listening. Remembering. So the next time you see photos of the Alhambra glowing beautifully at sunset, ask yourself one question. What if the real history of the palace was too terrifying for the world to know? If you enjoyed this dark mystery story, subscribe to the channel right now and turn on notifications because more forbidden secrets and terrifying historical mysteries are coming soon. And remember, some doors are sealed for a reason.